Hello, welcome back to another video. I appreciate you guys clicking on this. I don't remember what this game is about or if it's just a demo or not. If you guys want it in English, just remember to hit this top right corner here and turn it into English because it's in the original in another language. Just remember to put it in English. And this is free on Steam, by the way. I really like the art style. You just had to do everything last minute, hadn't you? Ooh, this is some nice art style. Pipe down, it's fine as long as I make it in time. You're not helping me stay calm. David Arshinovich. Let's not fight over this, boys. Why do these look like freaking supernatural characters? Come on, Arsonich. We're just fooling around. I wanted to fire a witty comeback at Yura, but I held back. Veronica didn't like it when we acted like this, even though we were never serious about it. At least for today, I needed to keep myself together. The flow of time felt unbearably slow. I was prohibited from pacing around the room, so there was nothing left for me to do but sit and wait. I started tapping the table with my fingers out of boredom. I wonder how long it would take before I made someone mad. Well, don't fret, this wood is good, pliant. You'll bind your Veronica on time. It sounds plain wrong when you put it like that. I mean, I for one will never get married, not in this place. His hand stopped moving for a moment. I couldn't tear my eyes from the elegant wooden ring. It emanated a faint glow in the lamp's muted light, as if calling out to me. Is this one for me or for Veronica? Yura insisted that the ring should be different, but he never told us which one we'll get. One was of a darker shade, for example. I wouldn't say that if I were you. You never know what fate has in store. What am I watching right now? Yura didn't reply. He simply continued polishing the ring. Arsonich sighed, squinted, and looked out the window. I became curious. Despite having countless stories, some of which the old man had told us multiple times, he never really spoke about his personal life. Even though he also should have that type of story in abundance. And were you married before, Arsonich? Of course, to a woman named Tonya. We lived in the village to the west from here. We built our home together. The memory is still vivid. A tiny house, not enough space even for just the two of us. It was way back. He stared into space, his body swaying slightly, which meant he was retreating into himself again. This has been happening more and more as of late. And where's your wife now? What? Ah, well, you know, dead. He clenched his fist so we wouldn't see how hard his fingers were trembling. Yura and I couldn't help but notice anyway. But we remained silent, like we always did. The forest took her. Yura heaved a deep sigh. And here you were talking about uncertainty. We all know our fate. First, this forest will take the ones we love, then us too. He gritted his teeth and slowly put the ring in front of himself. Whatever. The moment we catch that bastard, everything will change. We'll go to a place where no one will die before their time. There will be plenty of time to build a family. That's enough, boys. At least for today, let's forget our business. You know, Arsonich, the deer would be a good wedding gift. You wish. We're humble people here, as are the gifts we bring. Here. Yura held out 2 small wooden rings to me. They were smooth, warm to the touch. They also felt unexpectedly heavy, as if they carried the giant weight of responsibility I was about to accept. Thanks, they're amazing. I know, I spent a whole week picking the right wood. I hope Veronica likes them too. I didn't know Yura's real age. He was probably older than 30, though. He never liked talking about himself, so I never thought of casually asking him about it. Right now, this grown man looked like a happy child that brought a handcrafted gift to his parents. I stepped closer and put my hands on his shoulder. We'll find that deer, and we'll get the hell out of here, I promise. Okay, so the deer is bad. Okay. Sure, I never doubted that. Why the long face, Arsonich? It's just... Yura made these wonderful rings and I have nothing to give you. The amulet is still not finished. You've arranged the ceremony, made the table, decorated the place, brought out your tincture, It's not a tincture. Who cares? You've already done plenty. No need to be hard on yourself. Fine, fine. Can't an old man be grouchy once in a while? You're stretched. His eyes started to dart around the room before stopping on the small kitchen. Hey, Pops, maybe we can bring out another bottle of your stuff as a present for the newlyweds. No, what we have is enough. Actually, it's a good idea. I have something special in store for occasions like this. Arsenic chuckled and I stared at the clock. 15 more minutes. Oh, is it time? Sit down and be quiet. Seeing the bride before the wedding is bad omen. We'll be going, though. Yep. Yura stood up and scooped up the rings from my palm. Don't fret. I'll be sure to return them. The cabin doors closed with a squeak and I was left all alone. His second hand was in no rush to make its rotations, as if stalling for time. Tick-tock, tick-tock. I wonder, will things be different? We've been together for 4 years now, haven't we? Yet it seems like it. Will Maya and Veronica's lives change after the marriage? Will it make even a single thing better? Of course it will. It must. Why do all this otherwise? The clock struck 5. It was my cue. A colossal tree, my wedding altar, spread its thistle paws before me. Hidden amongst the dark emerald branches of the spruce were countless colorful ribbons. They peeked out timidly from beneath the dense row of needles. Oh, she pretty! Veronica stood at the foot of the tree. She was about to finish decorating it. The last sky-colored ribbon flashed in the hands of my future wife, only then to immediately disappear into the layer of green, tied to a reef knot to a branch. The last ribbon began blue. Being blue was a good omen. Arsenic told us it signified a peaceful life. Tiny coniferous needles stung Veronica's hands. She would shudder every now and then, but never stopped courageously fixing the ribbons that got tangled in the branches. She tied them tight, making sure the mighty tree looked presentable. Rituals like this were not uncommon in my village. My mom would often take me to watch them and always said that the woman's lot in these parts was enduring the stings of fate while forging the comfort of her home with her own 2 hands. Decorating the oldest spruce in the forest was only the beginning, a silly symbol of the difficulties that lie ahead. The forest was pointy and dangerous, but we've already been through so much. We can overcome this too. A single thought prevented me from enjoying this day. Our love for each other grew here, in the dark forest. I knew I couldn't make Veronica truly happy, not here. I felt an unpleasant tinge in my chest, but I did my best to ignore it. I shouldn't let sorrow in my heart today. Today there was only Veronica and our future family happiness, as small as it may be. Everything else didn't really matter. Oh. Arsenic stood under the tree, getting ready to deliver a speech. I walked towards Veronica and looked at her without saying a word. She was also silent, as if this was our first meeting. My heart was beating like crazy. I haven't been this excited in a while. Dear Misha and Veronica. His voice trembled. A lone tear of pure joy slid down his face and got lost inside one of its many wrinkles. I couldn't take my eyes off my bride. The hem of her snow-white dress swayed slightly in the cold wind. I tried talking Arsenic out of the ceremony multiple times. I told him that Veronica might catch a cold and we'd be left helpless without her. I would also pointed out that he is in no condition to do this much either. Yura should have just carved out the rings for us, and that's it. Yet right now, I thank David Arsenic on the inside for being so persistent. Nika looked stunning. Today you stand before the wisest tree in the forest, ready to bind your fates in the tightest knot that will hold until the end of your lives. Family life is tough, and you need to be prepared to face it. The forest knows no mercy, as you should never let your guard down. Who knows when you'll need to fight or flee? The old man dropped his usual bits of cold, hard truth, plunging us into despair even on an occasion like this. Be careful. Remember, the most important thing you have is right now is each other. No matter what happens in these dark times, stay human to the very end. The forest will try to subdue you, but you should never give up. Stay strong. It's easier to do that together. Veronica, my dear. He turned to the bride and she straightened up. You're a good girl. I know how much you love Misha and how much you're ready to do for him. But don't let him completely overshadow you. Be yourself. That's what we always loved about you. Veronica's lips started quivering. Thank you, David Arshnevich. Misha gathered all my courage and looked into his bottomless brown eyes. He used them to see right through us, sometimes telling us things we didn't want to hear. Yet today I wasn't afraid of hearing the truth. I was sure that the wise arsonist knew what we had to do in order to spend a long, happy life together. Never leave Nika behind. You always have your eyes set on your goal, Misha. The beautiful tomorrow is nice and all, but there's one thing I cannot stress enough. Here and now, you're in the forest and needed to protect your wife. Never forget that. I silently nodded and turned back to my wife. Nika. I cleared my throat. Thoughts coursed through my head. Mind refused to form words. I swear I'll always be by your side. I'll do everything I can to make you happy. You don't deserve to live in this dump. I'll catch the deer and take us to the beautiful tomorrow. You'll see. We have a bright future ahead of us, I promise. I wanted to say more, but my tongue got stuck to my palate, and all the words I was looking for left my brain. It was Nika's turn to recite her pledge, but she was silent. She looked at me timidly if my words scared her. I swear to be a good wife. She shuffled her feet. We will have an amazing family. We'll raise the most wonderful children. We'll be happy. Did you hear that, Ejikets? Bro, I definitely feel like whoever made this took parts from Supernatural. Because that's what this feels like. Because that's the only other place I see Idjit is in Supernatural. David Arsenovich suddenly tugged on a spruce branch. Wilted needles fell to the ground. Do you approve of this pair's pledge? A powerful gust of wind bent the mighty spruce, making it creak. It looked like a nod. The oldest living being in the forest became the witness to our wedding. Yura rushed to present us with the rings. Here, this is from me. Wish all you the best, newlyweds. The usual smirk adorned his face. Something glistened in the edges of his eyes. I carefully put the ring of lighter shade on Veronica's finger. I love you, Nika. I never heard of a nickname for somebody named Veronica. Nika's an interesting nickname. I love you, Misha. She threw herself into my embrace. I squeezed my wife tight. She overshadowed the rest of the world around me. There was nothing else but us, consummating our union under a massive spruce. You should have not used that word there, because that's not what you think it means. Fairy dear. The echo of his shout rumbled among the ancient trees. Bless us and take us to the beautiful tomorrow. Take us to the beautiful tomorrow. Take us to the beautiful tomorrow. If only I could hear our pleas and come out from the forest right this moment. You know, that deer would be a great wedding gift. It's so cold here. I gently scooped my newlywed wife in my arms. Let's go home. We slowly walked away, leaving Ejikets to rustle with her green ribbon-dressed branches. Well, where are the bottles, Pop? Be patient. Keep your hands to yourself. The first fill goes to the newlyweds. I didn't listen to them. I just kept staring at Veronica. She returned my gaze bashfully as if we just met. I placed her on the ground with care. She took a single step back. The ongoing argument turned into... Oh ho, is this all you're cooking, Pops? Of course, how could I let the bride stand in front of the stove? Quit standing around, help me with the pot. Do you feel any... different? She nodded. I don't know. I mean, something did change, that's for sure. It's just I can't figure out what exactly. But things are better now, right? I nodded. I couldn't force out anything else. I don't know. Maybe I was expecting some sort of immediate effect. Like the forest becoming brighter all of a sudden. Nika suddenly grabbed my hand, the flowery aroma wafting from her hair mixed with the thick smells of the cabin. I felt dizzy. This was so intoxicating that I felt drunk without a single drop of that tincture. We can do it. We will be happy. I leaned forward instead of replying. My eyes closed the moment before our lips touched. Her lips, soft and hot, melted with mine, dry and chapped. Nika's hair was all over my face. Hey, you're not supposed to kiss without a toast. I guess he didn't heed the first fill warning. Come sit. Pops won't let me drink without you. Arsonich, haven't I told you not to overdo it? You cooked for the whole platoon. It's alright. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It needs to be done properly. He's right. The bottle standing next to Euro was already half empty. Listen to your elders. You need to cherish every moment inside the forest. And things like this are even more special. It's the best we can get. Eat, drink, and don't worry about a thing. You can afford it once in your life. My head was buzzing with anger. It wanted me to think, plan, mull over about the deer. It almost time to go check our traps. We also needed to count how much food we had left. We'd check on the garden as well. I glanced at my Veronica. She was already chewing on something while talking to Arsonich. My lips were widened into a smile. She was so adorable. I only needed a single glance at her for all my worries to disappear, leaving only tenderness in my heart. Yura is right. Today it's meat for me and her. We can get some rest. Besides, this piece of meat looks really appetizing. Plate after plate, glass after glass, the party was getting hotter and hotter. Arsonich stopped standing up before delivering another of his toasts. Yura was annihilating all of the food on his side of the table, and Veronica leaned on my shoulder. You know what, Misha, you're a good guy. Hope your life gets better after this marriage. It surely can't get any worse. He chuckled. Right, I realized I never asked you about this. Where exactly are you from? A village in the north, a couple of weeks away from here. It's a long trip you took, straight into the forest's butthole. It's okay. It will pay off the moment we catch the deer. Arsonich croaked and tried to stand up, swaying. Alright, time to clean the table. It's getting late. I'll help. No, not today. Get some rest. The old man scooped up a mountain of dishes and strolled towards the kitchen. Veronica followed him with her eyes. He didn't listen to you after all. Of course he didn't. If Arsonich decides on something, it's no use trying to persuade him. Nika leaned in again and kissed me, quite quickly, bashfully. I couldn't help but smile. You're acting like it's our first date. It's just you're so cute. How can I resist kissing you? Ugh. This is a long game. Whew. I didn't realize how long this was going to be. Come here. I embraced her. I could feel her quick heartbeat in her warm skin. Veronica buried her face in my neck, tickling it with her breath. Hey, you could have at least waited before we went to bed. Yura. She pouted and turned around. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I steal your hubby for a second? I'll bring him back soon, I promise. What's going on? Nothing, just wanted to talk. I wanted Nika to spot me from going so badly right now. It was late. My head was heavy as a leaden ball after eating and drinking so much, and I felt good in my wife's embrace. Fine, I'll go help David Arsonich then, or I'll end up overworking himself. Shoffley let me go before squeezing my hand for a swift moment. I'll be waiting. I begrudgingly stood up. Well, what did you want to talk about? Let's go outside. My head stopped working in a stuffy place. The outside met us with the cold night and myriads of sounds. The forest stood in front of us like a black wall. It creaked, whistled, crackled, as if taking uneven, heavy breaths. It's beautiful in its own way. Yeah, right. Yura knew what the forest was like better than anyone else. Countless deadly creatures writhed there. Beauty like this better admired from afar. That's true. He swayed back and forth slightly. Oh, shit. What did I click? What did I click? Literally, all I did is I think I accidentally clicked freaking, I think I clicked the F button, but that's real weird. Can you, like, go back, please? What the heck? Okay, I'm gonna have to restart this game. Okay. Load. I'm so glad that I decided to save it, because I don't want to have to go through this entire game again. You're one brave guy starting a family here and all. He kept repeating this throughout the weeks of wedding ceremony. All that was for someone else. Yeah, I know why you tried to stage all that shit. Feeling any different, by the way? Not yet. Some time needs to pass, I guess. Right. It didn't work, huh? He breathed them through the pursed lips with a loud sound. I've already told you, you can try to ignore the florist all you want with your weddings, gardens, whatever the heck else you come up with. But it'll take its dues eventually. The only way out is catching the deer. Yes, catching the deer. Too bad we haven't even seen it once. We saw the tracks. It's not enough. Sometimes I think that believing in those old wives' tales was a mistake. Arsonich believes in them. He's yet to be wrong in my experience. I mean, I'm sure the deer does exist. It's just, how long have we already been scouring the forest? At least 4 months. That's right. And what else do you suggest? Spending our entire lives in the forest? I refused. We need to find that deer and get the hell out. Yura shook his head deep in thought. Let's take a walk. A walk? It's getting dark and Veronica is waiting. We'll be quick. 20 minutes at most. The forest hissed menacingly at me. I was taught to fear the thicket at night like the plague. But since Yura is telling me to go, I must be safe. I can trust him gently. The only thing breaking the anxious silence were the sounds of crackling branches underneath our feet. I tried my best to keep up with Yura. If you ever get left behind in the forest, you're as good as gone. Besides, he was carrying a flashlight, and I forgot to bring mine, intoxicated by the happiness and the texture. Wait up. He froze, listening intently to the forest sounds. The night thicket descended into complete silence, with the exception of barely audible cracking of the old trees somewhere in the distance. The flashlight's cones led to the left. Something hooted, flapping its wings and disappearing into the night. I shuddered and looked at Yura. False alarm. Let's go. Just a bird? He nodded and continued walking. Yeah, it was just a bird, don't worry. He moved the spruce branch to the side and went to the trail of his own making. As soon as I stepped after him, the branch sprang back and struck my face with its needles, making me wince from the pain. I froze, put my hand against my cheek. Hey, Misha, you alright? I got blinded by a flash of light. Sorry, I thought you were farther away. He burst out laughing after seeing my face. I immediately wanted to fling something heavy at him to make him stop. Shh, the creatures will hear you. Why are you so on edge? Do you think I'd drag you into the forest right now if there was a chance we could get eaten? Nobody will touch us. Here, take the flashlight. He formed a megaphone around his lips with his hands. Hey, you ugly bastards. Free dinner here, served fresh. I knew that Yura wouldn't lie, but my insides still shrank in horrific anticipation. Nothing happened, just crickets chirping somewhere in the grass. See, we're fine. He grinned and continued walking. Give me some light. We're almost there. Yura didn't lie. Soon enough, the line of trees became thinner and the carpet made of wilted leaves turned into soft grass. It was a small glade divided down by the middle by a stream that disappeared into the forest depths. I've never been to this place. We usually hunted to the north of this area. The area was safer and had more game. What's this? A stream. Have you gone blind or something? Let me rephrase it. Why did you bring me here? There's something I wanted to tell you. He squatted near the water's edge. This is a special place. Thicket creatures never go past it. A border? Something like that. Want to have a sip? I followed Yura's example, knelt down, dipped my hands in the water, and immediately yanked them away. It was cold as hell. The water's magical, by the way. Magical? I raised my brow in suspicion, but Yura just ignored it and continued his story. It took me a while to realize what this place actually was. One day, I was running away from a creature this huge. Running from a creature? Weird. He never told us about getting into danger in the forest. Actually, it wasn't surprising. Veronica and Arsenic would have died from worry. I was running with all I could. Thought the end was nigh, but then the stream just popped up out of nowhere. I leaped across and looked back. The ugly thing was still standing on the other side of it, confused. It clearly saw me, but couldn't step in the water. After that happened, I went and provoked more forest creatures. He swore through his teeth. And not a single bastard dared cross this stream. Could it be the water, or just that one in particular? I got caught once, but then tripped and fell into the water. I swallowed some of it and saw the deer. Huh? You saw the deer, and you didn't tell us? Don't pout. You should know nothing in this hole can be trusted. Think about it. How long have we lasted if we followed a false lead? We'd get eaten a whole long time ago. Alright, so what happened next? Nothing. I tried drinking from the stream some more. I heard clanging of hooves. I saw that place. That place? Yeah, that place. The beautiful tomorrow. It really is beautiful, Misha. Veronica would have loved it. That's why I brought you here. He picked up a pebble from the ground and threw it in the stream. My life is pretty much screwed up. Can't really get any worse. But you still have a future. You need to get out of the forest. So yeah, this is one more gift for your wedding from me. You have to believe in miracles in the forest, and Archonist Tictor will run out someday. He smirked, scooping up a handful of water from the stream, brought it to his lips. Well, shall we? For the beautiful tomorrow. I followed suit and made a cautious sip. It was ordinary water, clean, cold. I squirmed. For the beautiful tomorrow. I stood up. Let's go back. Nika will be worried. Yura nodded, then fished out a tin flask from his inner pocket, filling it with water from the stream, and handed it to me. All the best, man. Hey, what do you think about the beautiful tomorrow looks like? I could immediately draw the right image in my mind. Everybody's happy there. No creatures anywhere, only the good folk around. Nika and I will have a child there. Whether it will be a boy or girl doesn't matter. But I'll make sure they grow up healthy, well-fed, and safe. Well, I wish I had your imagination. And what's it like to you? He stopped and looked around, a cunning smile on his face. Is it only me, or did the forest become brighter? I stared at the rows of pines for a while until it finally hit me. All this time, we were traversing the forest without a flashlight. Is it because of that water? That's right. This place should be pitch black right now. Do you think the beautiful tomorrow is also this bright? He just shrugged, while stomping his feet on the trail. Probably, otherwise we wouldn't be able to see that beauty. I wanted to skip and jump. All my worries faded away, making way for a childish, innocent joy. Nika and I got married. We'll get on the deer's trail soon. We're just one step away from the beautiful tomorrow. We're doing great. Why do I feel like they're gonna get back and something bad's gonna be happen? Be quiet. They're probably already asleep. The house fell into midnight silence. There was no traces of our celebration. I wonder how much time did Arsenic and Nika spend to clean up everything? How long were we gone for? It felt like we've only been out for a couple of hours. It was always hard to tell day from night in the forest. Yura gave me a pat on the shoulder and sneaked towards his room. I went towards the bedroom to my wife. As soon as I opened the door, Nika stood up and rushed to my side. Finally, you're back. Yura must have talked your ear off again, right? I pulled her close, inhaling the familiar scent of her hair. She's so pretty. You know, we're so lucky to have each other after all. Things will be fine, you'll see. She giggled, pressed herself against my body. I know, you swore under that spruce after all. I'm serious. I'll catch the deer and our lives will change for the better. You say it like you're about to go hunting right now. And what if I am? For you, I'm ready to chase into the forest all night. She pulled back, grabbing my hand gently, and dragging me towards the bed. The deer can wait. I can't. I smiled playfully, took off my sweater, and folded it on the chair. Come here. Dun dun dun! I'm not playing with you anymore, Arshnich. You say that every time, yet you always come back. I mean, I can't just give up like this. David brought a backmon set from his village, and I couldn't wrap my head around the fact. Items that were not essential for survival didn't see much use in the forest, and games were an even rarer sight. I still remember the first time this old man showed me his backman set, and how proud he was of the fact that he carved it out himself. At the time, I thought he'd never be able to find an opponent. We need to kill time somehow. True that. Okay, we've been at this for long enough. There's work to be done. The amulet won't finish itself. Another round, maybe? Fine. Playing again. Hey, Pops, I'm shocked your fingers aren't full of splinters with the board in such a bad state. Shall I carve you a new one? Ah, you're finally out. What are you even doing coped up in your room all the time? Making traps. I want to place more of them deeper in the forest. So what about my offer? No, thank you. This is precious memory. Speaking of traps, when are you going to check on them? Tomorrow. No need to rush. It's a dangerous time right now. We need to wait. We won't catch anything if we get eaten by a bear. Damn, I completely forgot to eat with all these traps. Is there anything left over? Nika's cooking something right now. Go ask her. Gotcha. He dragged his feet to the other side of the room, where sizzling could be heard. The wonderful aroma of fried meat slowly filled up the cabin. I was about to start drooling myself. Also hungry? Not really. Let's play. Alright, you go first. The deer is supposed to become our savior, and we're trying to harm it. If the legends are true, our traps won't be able to harm it, only hold it in place for a bit. And it's not like we have any other option. You're right on this. We can't be sitting in the forest all the time. What a sad story. That's not the end of it. The boy didn't give up, even when all of his family despaired, and the deer showed itself to him. I glanced at the board. David had beaten me again. No matter what move I made, I lost. Arsonich also realized that and chuckled. After I heard that story, I decided that I also wanted to catch the deer, and here I am, chasing it to this day. I've always been amazed by this. How much willpower do you need to keep going for so long? Yoro returned, digitally chewing on something. Fat glistened on his fingers. Why would I give up? My life will end eventually. I can sit in the dark forest, but I can also chase the light. It's simple. Yeah, we got lucky with meeting you, Misha. I wouldn't have been able to endure these stories on my own. Well, you look at this martyr. My stories are unbearable, huh? How come nobody told me about that when I came to your village? You included. Yes, I remember that day. You came like a hero of legends, a true adventurer. The village went nuts. We were barely able to send our guys to hunt. They all wanted to hear Arshnich's stories. How long did you live with us? 4 months? Something along those lines. Yeah, and then you came. He shifted his gaze to me. The village was abuzz again. Some lunatic was calling for people to follow him into the forest steps to catch the deer. And Arsenich just agreed on the spot. That was the moment when I realized it was better to listen to Pops. He tilted his head backwards, staring at the wooden ceiling. We had no idea it would take this long. At least we got lucky with this house. Luck has nothing to do with it. There's a lot of them in the forest. Their previous owners ventured too deep into the thicket, and there you go, free real estate. Dinner is ready. Alright, I've already eaten my fill, so I'll go deal with the trap, and you have a nice meal. The meat is amazing today. You're lucky to have a wife like her. Go already. Yura sneaked into his room and went to the table. The smell was truly amazing. You're a magician, Veronica. I haven't eaten a hog this good in a long while. Our place became empty in a flash. Nika was truly a culinary genius. My wife, may she rest in peace, made a similar marinade for meat. She also added mineral water there, though. Arshnich sighed, looked down, and started scraping his fork against the plate aimlessly. It seems like he couldn't see or hear anything around him anymore, deep in his own world. When Nika took away his empty plate, he didn't even notice it. Arshnich. Huh? He shuddered and raised his head. Are you okay? Yes, I think so. I've been thinking about Tanya more and more as of late. Is she better off on the other side? Is she happy out there? And what's more important, will I be happy without her when we eventually catch the deer? You're so beautiful, so young, you have a bright future. Maybe you'll even be able to live happy lives far away from the forest. And my Tanya hasn't even lived to see the deer up close. She ventured into the forest and it took her. He reached his pocket, fished out a small wooden object. It looked like some sort of human-like figure. If only I started earlier, maybe I would have made it in time. Maybe we would have been sitting here as 5 right now. By the way, how's the amulet turning out? He glanced at the little doll and sighed in dejection. Something is amiss. I can't put my finger out at what. I did everything right, but I won't even be able to scare off the smallest of imps in this state. Don't worry, you'll think of something. I sure hope so. I wish I could leave the forest with you guys at the very least. I'll see what the beautiful tomorrow looks like just to tell my wife about it in the afterlife. I'm so jealous of you, Misha. Almost nobody is brave enough to start a family in these parts. The thought of falling in love just to immediately lose your significant other is too scary. But you weren't deterred. You were just like Tanya and I when we were young, fearless, madly in love. My Tanya was such a tomboy. Nobody wanted to take her. If something didn't go her way, everybody around her was at risk. Have I told you how we met? So I came to their village to settle down, saw Tanya, and immediately took a liking to her. I didn't know how to strike up a conversation, though. I got myself comfortable and embraced Veronica. She put a head on my shoulder. Both loved listening to Arshnitz's stories. Even though we often lost track of his thoughts, his hushed, slightly quivering voice also calmed us down and brought us about a pleasant, warm feeling. Let's hope you two can make it. Take care of each other. When you and I are gone, you'll be the only people left in your world. He spat over his left shoulder 3 times and knocked on the wooden tabletop, then glanced at the clock and stood up from his chair. Oh my, look at the time. I've been talking too much again. Have a good night, you two. He dragged his feet towards his room and Veronica spoke from my shoulder in her calm voice. We'll catch it, David Arshnevich. Good night. He turned around for a moment, flashed us a kind smile, and disappeared behind the bedroom door. We should also hit the sack. Hey, what? We would catch the deer, right? There was doubt in her voice. I immediately embraced her by the shoulders and looked her straight in the eye. Of course we will. Even Arshnich will have enough time to enjoy the beautiful tomorrow. And what if we don't? Do you remember how everyone in the village was running around the forest looking for deer tracks year after year? Well, yeah, but we know for sure that deer is somewhere around these parts. I yawned and got under the blanket. Nika snuggled up to me. I felt so happy when you agreed to go with me. I couldn't have made this decision without you, but now... I sighed, studying the jagged parts of the wooden ceiling. Now, at the very least, we have hope of getting out of the stump. You'll see the deer will be in our hands very soon, and will take us to wherever we want. I thought the beautiful tomorrow was the same for everybody. Mom told me that everybody's happy there, and we'll have our own kind of idea of happiness. What will make you the happiest, for example? You. That's it? Well, she averted her gaze. A son, too. Can we have a son in the beautiful tomorrow? I smiled and gave her a soft kiss on the shoulder. Of course. What will we name him? Slava. All right, he'll be Slava then. Nika hugged me and looked me in the eye. I can't believe the deer is really somewhere close, that our dream is about to come true. When we next wake up, our dream will be even closer. Really? Yeah, sweet dreams, Nika. It's just such a cute little game. I like it. It's really long, but I like it. Misha, get ready. We need to go. I can hear you. No need to shout. You're shuddered. Here you are. Okay, have 5 minutes to get ready. I'll be waiting outside. Arshnich and I exchanged glances. Our unfinished backgammon games didn't want to let me go. Would been at this for a while. How about we call it a draw? Sure thing. Good luck. Thanks. Return safe and sound. I simply nodded in reply. Arshnich became like this sometimes. He would see us off so we would never return. A couple of times he even chanted a prayer. Go now and I'll look for something to do. That was quick. I thought I'd have to wait until nightfall. Why? Archie's been gloomy since early morning. Told me something worried him. I thought he'd start putting charms on you for your safe return. Not really. He just wished me luck. Alright, let's move. We're going further than usual today. We need to hurry before it gets dark. The forest stood in front of us like a dark wall. Tall, loud, it was trying to scare us away, make us return to the cabin. Don't lag behind. The trail avoided all the traps we've placed. We had more of them deep in the forest, but those could only be found by Yura, using God knows what landmarks. Watch your feet. These beasts have become clever. They eat the bait from the traps and throw them away without triggering. Some of them can be lying in the path, so look out. I squirmed. That was quite easy to not notice a trap in this forest semi-dark. Those traps could leave me toeless. I started walking cautiously, starting the darkness under my feet. Branches hanging over our heads, trying to steal as much light as possible from us. Heavy, creaky, they looked like they were ready to fall at any moment. This place was blood-chilling. Rotten, dangerous, suffocating, it devoured every ray of light it could reach. With this never-ending fog and dead trees, the forest tried to trip us up, making us stay in it forever. Yura and I slowly advanced our usual route, stopping here and there to look into bushes and check our traps. They were all empty like usual. Some of the traps were left untouched, some of them were missing the bait. We just passed the stream. How do you know? I can feel it. The forest is angrier here and only get worse the deeper we go. Let's stay quiet for now, for good measure. The deeper we went, the less it rustled with leaves and creaking with branches. Even the birds went silent, apart from a lonely hoot from some owl at the edge of my hearing. How much deeper are we going today? We're almost there. It's going to get dark soon, and we've left our usual route a long time ago. Don't fret, it's gonna be okay. I always make it back before sunset. So this is the place you visit when making the rounds without me? Yep, there's a trap there on the left. Be careful. I hugged the edge of the path. I couldn't see anything because of the tall grass. Are we gonna get a picture of the trap? The tiny trail came to a sudden end, and I froze at the edge of a ravine. It was at least 2 meters wide, but I couldn't make out anything on the other side of it. Watch your step here. If you fall, you're good as dead. A river of fog streamed on the ravine's floor. It undulated, creating countless swirls while hugging rocks, bushes. I couldn't make out the details in the dark. Something black protruded from the bog, pointing its carnivorous tips at me. Is this a long fall? What? Ah, no. The ravine is pretty shallow. 3 meters or worse, but I've placed spikes at the bottom. A month, maybe. I would make the rounds on our traps, then come here to whittle the spikes. Good thing there's enough wood to go around here. Well, why? Don't you think it's a bit too much for the deer? Yura scraped the back of his head. Let's go check the ravine. I'll tell you on the way there. We went forward. The grass underneath our feet was damp and slippery, so I had to grab at the nearby trees to avoid falling on the spikes. Just the thought that I could fall down and die made me nauseous. How often do you come here? Once a week, maybe. He stared at the swirling fog. There's no point in checking more often, and the trap doesn't need recharging. Still, don't you think it's a bit too much? The deer won't even notice these spikes, you know, if all those stories are true. And then I don't get it at all. Don't tell me they're for the thicket beasts. What else would they be for? I looked at the other side of the ravine once again. Everybody knew that there were beasts, and then there were the beasts. The creatures of the forest depths. Dark, hairy, extremely dangerous, almost in our backyard. They may be wandering nearby, and we don't even see them among the forest's darkness. They don't come out during the day, do they? I'll say this, I haven't seen them in the day of light. It's just light is hard to come by in our forest. You know, the sun is always so bright in fairy tales, but here, father. He crunched his neck. Maybe I'm even paranoid. But it'll better be paranoid and alive than mentally stable and dead. I suddenly felt the urge to go back to Veronica, to get away from this ravine, the spikes, and the dark thicket. All of this so oppressing, I don't know what to do. I never hunted those creatures, always fled from them. But if it doesn't help, I don't know what will. The bushes rustled again. Well, was it my imagination or was the sound closer this time? You're a bit on his lower lip. Let's get out of here slowly. I was about to ask what happened, but Yura put a finger to his lips. Slowly but surely, without making a sound, we walked the way we came. I fixed my gaze at the place where I heard the rustling sound come from. Maybe it was just a squirrel. We'd usually meet them at the edge of the forest, but you never know. The most important part was that it wasn't anything dangerous. We almost reached the trail. The soil here collapsed so there was almost no space to move. Come on, move, but be careful. Something black whizzed in front of my face like a bullet, went to the other side of the ravine, and disappeared in the darkness. My vision started turning. Oh no, I was falling. The world spun. Carnivorous spikes reached for me. No. Hold on. My leg burned. Waves of pain crawled up upwards. Only then did I realize I wasn't falling. My legs dangled in the air, barely touching a lonely spike. Yura had a firm grip on my hand. His face went white from exertion, and his boots slid on the wet grass. Pull me up. He looked me in the eye, but didn't pull. He just froze at the edge of the ravine. I felt his palms sweating. I was starting to slip. Yura! He shuddered as if coming back to his senses. Yura threw his body backwards in a swift motion and pulled me out of the death trap. Damn it, Misha, you alright? I'm alive. I pulled myself up and crawled onto the ravine's edge. What even happened? Something jumped at me from there. What? I don't know. Something quick and black like a shadow. A shadow, huh? His expression became grim as he looked at the thicket. And you asked what the spikes were for. That's pretty the only little ones snoop around. Only the little ones snoop around here. Alright, let's go home. We don't want to loiter here. I tried to get up, but a sharp pain in my leg stopped me. Wait up, What are you sitting there for? He got close and then gasped. Your pants are all bloody. Did it pierce my leg after all? Everything happened so quickly that I couldn't process anything. Something warm trickled down my leg. Looks gruesome, but I think it's nothing too bad. Shit, there's not enough light. Come here. He grabbed my hand and supported me with his shoulder. When Veronica finds out, we'll never hear the end of it. Let's move as fast as we can. The sooner we cleanse your wound, the better. Pops, get the first aid kit. Yura dragged me into the cabin and sat me down on the sofa. My leg reminds me of itself with a sharp, pulsating pain. I looked down. My pants were soaked in blood at this point. Goodness gracious, what happened? Hop on and get the first aid kit. Make sure you're alright. You're fine. Stop making a fuss. What happened to him? Nika rushed to my side. She examined my wound with a worry, then grabbed my hand and looked in my eye. How did you feel? Who did this to you? Come on, he told us not to make a fuss. Yura and Samurai pulled the bloody pants. I frowned and gritted my teeth from the pain. No pain, no gain, buddy. He carefully examined my calf, which had drop after drop of blood rolling down from it. Okay, there are no splinters there. The wound is not very deep. You'll live. Hear that, Misha? I nodded, staring in terror at the bottle of pure alcohol in his hands. This is going to hurt. Veronica held out her hand towards me, as if reading my thoughts. I grabbed it tight and shut my eyes. My whole body stung as if it was about to be torn to pieces. Seconds passed, but the pain was about to subside. I instinctively squeezed Nika's hand even tighter, praying to all gods for this torture to end faster. And it did, leaving behind a slight tingling sensation. Only now I was able to open my eyes and clench my fingers. Phew, you almost broke my hand. And not even a sound from him. That's a real man for you. Tired, I leaned back in the sofa and didn't even look at Veronica, who was tying a bandage around my foot. I certainly had the desire to sleep, so I yawned, trying to get comfortable. Maybe you should go sleep in the bedroom? You went through a lot today, and this small sofa won't bring you any peace. I slowly shook my head. I didn't want to get up. I'll escort him. Hold tight, Misha. A pair of caring hands pulled me up slowly, and I limped after my wife towards the bedroom. I had a feeling that going to the forest today was a bad idea. I knew something terrible would come out of it. Don't look at me like that, Pops. How could I know I'd fallen into the ravine? It's because you put these spikes everywhere. Thank God it only grazed him. He said that a dark shadow flew in front of his face. Yeah, you brag about your spike trap when it comes to traps for flying creatures. Our snitch grumbled something under his breath and went to his room, shuffling his feet on the floor. I should tell him that Yura did nothing wrong, but that's for tomorrow. The only thing I still had the energy for today was sound sleep. Good morning, Arsnitch. He raised his head and pulled a little doll and the knife into his pocket. Oh, you're finally awake. How's your leg? It's steadily getting better. I frowned. It's already been a week, and every step still resounded with pain. Where's everybody? Well, the lunch break is over. They're all busy with something. What do you mean lunch? Did I sleep in again? Why didn't you wake me up? Veronica wouldn't let us. I get her. The forest always takes its dues. You need to rest after something like this. A week, even two. And something similar happened to me when I was searching for the White Lake. I fell into a pit halfway to the local village. My leg got swollen pretty much instantly, and I could barely move. So yeah, I spent a couple of days there. If not for the village folk, Arsnitch had already told us the story at least 3 times. While he was reminiscing about that village's local cuisine, I looked into the kitchen. Veronica wasn't there. And then Masha came to me. Arsnitch, where's Nika? She's outside in the garden. Do you want to talk to her? No, just wanted to find out what the others are doing. What about Yura? He's been in the forest since early morning. Arsnitch heaved a deep sigh. He didn't look at me, but at the cabin's door. He was mentally among the dark trees once again. Again, isn't he spending all his waking hours there? Another tragedy. Come on, it wasn't a tragedy. Look. I stomped the floor and immediately regretted doing it. A wave of pain spread upwards, eventually hitting my head. Stop acting like a hero or you end up spending another month indoors. What do you mean? I'm all ready to head out into the forest. Pipe down, I say. Veronica would chew off both of our heads. That's it. I've already spent too much time talking to you, and I have things to do. So many things. Arsnitch started walking around the room, waving his hands. He looked around in a daze, shifting his gaze between the backgammon board and the cellar hatch. He looked at the hatch more and more. Seconds passed. Is everything okay? What? Oh, yes. Arsnitch. It's nothing serious. Look, I'm already a geezer, so my old heart worries about small things, and don't you look at me like that. So you'd be better off talking about it. It doesn't matter if it's something minor. Tell me what worries you. He sighed. Fine. I was recounting our supplies. They're fine, but I noticed something. Arsnitch stuttered. Look, I don't want to blame anyone, but Yura started bringing less meat. I mean, he's hunting alone now. Still, he's spending more time there, and it's not like Yura needed much help before. Though I didn't look at all floating up in my mind. Yes, but I'm still worried. If these parts have less game now, we'll be looking for a new place to live soon. We can't. This is the only place where the deer was seen. If we leave, we'll let it get away for sure. We eat less if need be, but resettling is out of the question. In any case, there's no need to worry for now. Maybe it's temporary or Yura really needs some help. Let's wait until you get better. I'll have a chat with him. The old man shrugged. This is what I didn't want to tell you. I knew you'd want to get to the bottom of it. Please don't. Not right now. You're so wound up lately. He is at wit's end. I tried making him talk, but he just jokes around. I think it's all because of your leg. If you start fighting, things will only get worse. I wasn't going to blame him or fight with him. Sure, but doesn't know that I've known him longer than you. Heed my advice. You're a good man, but he keeps to himself. Give him time. He'll figure things out. And what if he gets worse after all? Then we'll decide what to do. Don't rush things. Write it as you wish. Arsenic smiled with gratitude. Everything's been so grim lately. Hey, about you take out your guitar tonight? Didn't I tell you to rest? I smiled and kissed my wife on her frowned forehead. I am resting. Besides, you do need help. Ah, the smell is amazing. What's for dinner tonight? Nika mumbled something, continued stirring the insides of a pot. Stew, try it. It's delicious. I hugged my wife. Come on, don't pout. Will it be ready soon? 10 more minutes and it will be on the table. Wonderful. My legs still pulsated with weak pain, but I paid it no mind, placing the dishes and the cutlery on the table. I followed the smell. The door flung open, letting in the evening cool. Yura disappeared into the cellar without even taking off his shoes. Arsenic's words about Yura bringing less meat flashed into my mind. How's the catch today? The only reply I got were the rummaging sounds coming from the cellar steps. After a few moments, the hunter's head popped out of the hatch. Why are you shouting like this? I said, how's the catch? Yura helped himself up with his shoulders, got it out of the cellar, and sighed. I saw a grouse today. Almost caught up, but the bastard managed to fly into the thicket. I decided against venturing there alone. If it gets in one of our traps, we'll collect it later. I shot a lot of small stuff, though. I exchanged looks with Arsenic. I gave me a slight nod that was a hint for me to back off. What's for dinner today? I'm absolutely starved. Stew, it's alrighty, by the way. Can you give me a hand, David Arsenovich? Why do they keep using his full name? Yumi, what's next on the agenda? I strummed the strings. Okay, sounds good. Wait a moment. Hints of worry sneaked into his voice. Listen closely. Some other sound was hidden underneath the guitars. A weird noise came from outside as something was writhing on the other side of the wall. It scratched against the cabin, rustling the wilted leaves and sniffing around. The sun had already set. Darkness gathered outside our windows. I'll go check. He was about to get up from the sofa, but Arsenic grabbed his sleeve. Sit tight. We don't know who or what our guest is. Nika pressed herself into me in fear. I put away the guitar and braced my wife. The sound didn't end. Chills ran down my spine. Who could be loitering around our cabin? Why do you guys keep saying who? Y'all in the middle of the woods. It's a what? What's this, David Arsenovich? Shush, don't move. He froze in place, listening closely to the reigning silence. Someone huge wandering around our house, breathing heavily. A wild beast? I immediately imagined a massive body moving around in the darkness, its square head swaying back and forth, trying to discern what is standing in front of it. Free meat has walked into our hands, it seems. He took the hunting rifle and flashed a carnivorous smile at his future victim. Something grumbled right underneath the window. Wait, maybe we shouldn't. What if it's one of them? Come on, I'll only take a look. Bam. You're a frozen place. A window shook from the hilt. A huge black paw scratched against it with its claws. Is that a bear? Shush, I tell you. He couldn't tear his eyes off the silhouette in the window. It seemed like it was woven from darkness. Everyone, even the sky outside wasn't this dark, and it hit me. This wasn't a bear. Bam. Bam. The beast kept banging on the windows, telling us to let it in. The glass kept shaking, and I only thought of occupying my mind. What if the beast breaks down the window? Dried herbs raining from the ceiling after every new hit, small red balls hitting against the floor. Foxberry. They were supposed to protect us. Everybody knew wild beasts hated their scent. But now it was hard to believe looking at the giant standing outside. Just this beast's paw was as big as my torso. How could some berries save you from this? Something hot fell on my shoulder. Finally turned my eyes off the window and noticed tears streaming down Nika's cheeks. It's gonna be alright. It'll leave soon. I whispered those encouraging words into her ear, wiping away her tears, tried to remain calm for her sake at the very least. I knew that if our guest from the forest turned out to be persistent, we would have no chance to survive. The creature struck again, now hitting the wall. Stuff went flying from the shelves. The old cabin squeaked in agony. Arsonich, white as a sheet, knelt down and scooped up a few berries. Don't provoke it. The old man put his clenched fist to the candle. Berries blackened, a toxic smell filled the room. A bitter taste appeared in my mouth. Don't breathe. The window crashed. Cold wind broke into the room along with glass fragments. Two eyes full of malice shone in the darkness. Another smell got added to the burning berries, a smell of blood. Death itself squeezed its maw into the cabin. Arsonich sprang up through the berries at the window and fell to the floor. My body instinctually followed him, dragging Veronica down as well. Yura plopped on the floor beside us. The creature roared after noticing the hated smell. I tried to squeeze myself into the floor. I would have tried to fall through it if I could. We needed to hide. We needed to run. The bear snorted angrily one more time, then stepped away from the window, away from the burning berries. It's leaving. His voice was trembling. The beast kept on snorting and roaring, but somewhere far away, closer to the thicket. Yura stood up and went towards the sofa on wobbly legs. Silence reigned for a long time. It felt much more intense than 5 minutes ago. How did it miss us? These berries give off a lot of smoke, and maybe it helped. Maybe the creature itself can't see well. Who cares? We're alive. That's what matters. What now? We looked at each other. We all wanted to reassure Nika, but nobody could find the right words. I don't know. How did that creature end up here in the first place? Yura told me that all the forest horrors stay on the other side of that stream. Was he wrong? If so, it could only mean one thing. Staying here was unsafe. I jumped to my feet and started pacing around the cabin, trying to arrange my thoughts. We have nowhere else to go, Misha. Yura's right. We can only return to the nearest village, but that's at least a couple of days on foot. And forget about the deer? No way. Maybe we should stop looking for it after a while. We should have enough supplies to make the trip. This is the only place where the deer was seen. If we leave now, we may spend the rest of our lives in the forest. A flash gleamed in the faint moonlight. I opened it and after taking a couple of steps, fell onto the bed without even getting undressed. Relief slowly enveloped my mind. My eyes were obstructed by a thin veil. Then I saw a glade somewhere deep in the forest. I've passed it a couple of weeks ago with Yura. There was nobody at the glade, not even the forest creatures. It was completely empty, yet something rustled in the bushes. I looked closer and realized some of the branches high up were missing leaves. Actually, they weren't even branches. From the bushes swaying in its horned head, the deer appeared. It looked around like it owned the place, then walked towards a pine and started plucking moss from its trunk. I just stood there enchanted and looked at my ticket to the beautiful tomorrow, unable to move. After eating its share, the deer turned around. Its gaze, calm and wise, met with mine, enchanted and excited. Playful lights flashed in the creature's eyes. I swear if the deer could talk, it would have laughed at my face and said, "Catch me if you can." The beast stomped its hooves in the ground and ran away, but I still couldn't force myself to move. They couldn't wake you up because you locked the door. I sighed and sat up. My leg doesn't hurt anymore. What's up with all the fuss? Sound sleep did good. Feel much better than ever. Doing next. Yer came out of the kitchen with a glass of water in hand. In the garden. You should probably go talk to her. Pops and I wanted her to stay inside for now, but she didn't want to hear about it. She's in the foul mood today. It's obvious why. Some people go mad after meeting with the forest darkness. Nika was doing a good comparison to those. Later I found some to tell you. I don't know, maybe I'm going to bonkers, but I sighed. I saw the deer in my dreams tonight. It stood at the glade, grazing on moss, and he shifted around on the chair. That's it. It just stood there for a bit, then ran away, but that's not the point. I know the place. Get it? We've been there once. What if the deer decided to give us a hint on where to find it? So you're saying it's somewhere close? I guess so. I say we go check it today. It's near the stream. Door opened with a squeak. Veronica stood in the doorway, carrying a bucket of potatoes. Without saying a word, she went to the kitchen and smashed it against the floor. Veronica, would you mind coming over here? I heard barely audible grumbling from the kitchen. What do you want? Hey, chill. We're holding a family council here. Still silent, she sat beside me and crossed her arms on her chest. Alright, now everybody's here. First things first, what's the plan? Do we stay here, or do we try to go back to the village? I think we should stay. The deer is somewhere close. I can feel it. Realize it was just a dream, right? Nika's brow moved even closer to her nose bridge. What dream are you talking about? The deer came to me tonight. I saw it munch on some moss at the glade near the stream. What if the deer itself wants us to finally find it? We can't rely on dreams. Remember my uncle suffered from nightmares? He kept dreaming about some miracle cure for his problems hidden deep in the woods. You do remember what happened to him, right? Please, let's not go there. He died. He couldn't resist going to the forest and perished there. We'll meet the same fate if we stay in a place where we almost got eaten by a bear. We need to leave. I disagreed. We needed to stay. It's a day-long trip to the village, if not more, and we had a bear wandering under our windows yesterday. We're as good as dead if we go into the forest at night. What Misha said is true. At least here we have somewhere to stay at the night. We have the amulet, don't we, David Arshinovich? We do, but it won't save us from a bear. Don't you say it'll drive away any beast? That was a plan, but I still haven't figured out how to do it. I need time. Then we don't have a choice. I don't like any of this. Her green eyes leaked malice. I tried hugging Vika, but she slapped my hand. Who knows if that bear or whatever it was won't return tomorrow? And what if the berries don't help next time? You're exaggerating. I know you're scared. We all are, but we'll get through this, okay? We have each other, and we'll do all we can to get out of this thicket safe and sound. Look at me. I made an oath to you under the oldest spruce that will get you out of here and shield you from danger, remember? I do, but I don't know if you'll be able to deal with a monster like that. Arsenovich, who was silent until that moment, sighed. What's on your mind, Pops? I've been thinking, even if we're destined to die in this forest, it's better to die believing in the beautiful tomorrow. We should never give up. And if somebody dares show up, He swung the rifle, intimidating a shot. Nika giggled and finally felt relieved. She finally smiled. Well, what's next? Are we going to place the traps? Yes, He suddenly slapped his forehead. Today is the day we make the rounds. We need to check the traps in the forest. Everybody looked out of the window at the same time towards the forest the bear recently went into. The image of the giant paw flashed in my mind. How can a creature this big be living here? What does it eat? Other monsters? They must taste horrible. Unless a bunch of humans in a fragile cabin, we probably are a delicacy to that bear. It's out of the question. It's a surefire way to die. Only if that bear hadn't returned to the thicket, and it did. Those creatures hate light, and you know it. It shouldn't have been here at all. Yura slapped the tabletop. Pops, we're not going anywhere like this. We can sit in the shack until the second coming, shaking from fear and die anyway. I don't want that. I'm willing to bet anything that after the sunrise that creature buggered off and can enter the forest safely. It's impossible, Misha. Tell he's gonna get himself killed. I curled my lips. My heart was beating so hard I could feel it. I took a deep breath to calm myself down. I've already resolved myself. I'm sorry, but we need to go. No way, what if the bear is still there? We all saw it. Tell me to have its next attack. Finally, she's wearing something different. Finally. The outside greeted us with a cold and the rustling of leaves. My resolve disappeared as soon as I saw the forest's dark wall. It seemed like the forest was taking deep breaths, waiting for someone to get inside. I wanted to go back to the warm and safe cabin. I grinded my teeth inside. Should we take the rifle? It's useless against those monsters. We'll just end up losing it in the forest. Let's go without it. Alright, it's time to go. Follow my lead and watch your surroundings. If you hear or see something weird, turn around and we go back immediately. Don't give me that. I know my way around the forest. Come on, the sooner we start, the sooner we finish. I listened to the thicket's sound, shuddering from every rustle, but it was all apparently in vain. The bear had disappeared without a trace. Veronica and I, on the other hand, didn't seem to care. Looking at her, I can tell she was scared or worried at all. She bravely took under every bush, searching for tracks, constantly tried to get ahead of me. When there was the last time we ventured into the forest together, a couple of months ago, I guess, when we were only going to the lonely cabin. After that, I asked Veronica to refrain from going here, and she didn't protest. There was a lot of chores at home, and Europe proclaimed that he's not our nanny, so he won't go out of his way to go look for us in the forest. Veronica looked after the house. I helped Yura and Arsenovich. I was used to living that way, and I didn't want to change anything until we catch the deer. Phew, let's take it slower, please. I'm too old to run like this. Hold on, we're almost there. Be careful. There are 2 traps inside the tall grass. Did you hear me, Nika? Yes, I remember. I'm following in your step. The forest was getting closer and closer. The trail became especially tiny here. There was no point in clearing out more. The forest grew back in a day or 2. Although Arsnich only benefited from that fact, it seemed. He bent down multiple times to pluck herbs, cut some bark, and pick mushrooms. How many ingredients did he need for the amulet? Do you follow this route every time? Well, not exactly. You always places new traps and moves the old ones. He tried to explain how it all works to me once, but I could barely understand him. Veronica giggled. This is so like you. Ask him again. It's very important. You don't get it. He doesn't follow any specific rules or methods, only his intuition. It's to be expected with how experienced he is, but still, you should ask him to teach you. It'll make life easier for both of you. Yeah, Yura probably dreams of teaching me, especially now when he has more work than ever. I might talk to him about it this later, or we'll catch deer and that won't be necessary. Must be tough. What do you mean? Coming here all the time only to see empty traps? They're not always empty. Sometimes small game gets caught in these. Yura even brought back a fox once. But we're not hunting foxes. He sighed and kicked a pebble without thinking. I'm so sorry. Sometime. It was starting to get dark, but it was hard to tell whether the day was drawing to a close or we just ventured too deep in the forest. It's okay, we'll catch it someday. Yeah, someday. Maybe there are tracks nearby? I didn't see any. There are no tracks here. I stared into the darkness, disappointed. Come to think of it, the glade from my dream wasn't far away. We could go there and look for tracks. This is hard to watch. I know how much effort you put into this, and all for nothing. Our snitch. I know, we shouldn't give up even as tough, but... Our snitch, don't move. David froze in place. I couldn't tear my eyes off his back. There was a creature crawling on it. It was fat, ugly, and it glistened in the flashlight's ray. Viscous ooze slowly dripped to the ground. Its thick fingers were adorned by curled claws, which the creature used to tap its victim, finding the best place to chew in. Its mouth full of sharp teeth seeming to twist in a smirk. Our snitch tried to turn aside. The creature hissed. No, don't move. Think. How do I get it off? It will attack if we touch it, and what if it's poisonous? I took a step forward. If only there was a stone around here or something. Alas, there was nothing under my feet apart from the leaves. What do? He looked surprisingly calm. The only thing that gave away his fear were the trembling hands. Wait a second, I'll try to scare it away. The flashlight swung, illuminating the creature for a moment. It shrieked and raised its paw in a threatening manner. Its jaws clanged. Take this. Nika jumped out from behind me. A branch whisked through the air and hit the creature. It produced a pitiful squeak, fell to the ground, and started writhing in the grass. I ran to it and kicked it with all my might. The monster flew into the bushes, squealing. Are you alright, our snitch? Did it bite you? I'm okay, I think. David clung to me to stop himself from falling. His knees were shaking. Thank you, Veronica. I'm in your debt. The only thing that matters is that you're safe. A soothing sound came from the bushes. The monster crawled to the light again. It left a trail of black ooze as it moved. A pair of pale eyes swirled with nasty bubbling sound without stopping. I shouldn't look back, or I'll trip and my life will end. The creatures were small, no bigger than a fox, but it didn't make them less dangerous. If they caught up to us, they would attack as a pack and tear us to bits. The forest grew thinner. Some of our pursuers stopped. They didn't want to go out into the light, but the most persistent of them still chased us. I could hear their wheezy breath I could feel their looks full of hatred on my back. They won't leave us alone till we reach the cabin, and they will go for our throats there. The forest will take us. My trap clanged along with a pitiful squeak. I couldn't help but turn around. One of the creatures was desperately trying to get its paw out of a bear trap, the others circling around. Their burning eyes shifted between me and the thicket where the other traps were hidden. Nobody risked going further. I grabbed Nika and Arshnich by their hands and ran faster. The creatures roared at their escaping prey. Is everyone okay? It was a miracle, simply a miracle. That was a thought I couldn't get out of my head. It was a miracle that we were able to run for so long. It was also a miracle that we didn't get caught in one of our own traps. Next time, we might not get this lucky. Arsonich, your amulet should have worked for the small ones, no? You saw it yourself. He straightened, huffing. Maybe it works, but only for a little. Who the hell knows? At least we didn't see that bear. But we surely met his friends. We got lucky even to survive. She heaved a deep sigh. David Arsonich, we need to take a look at your back. What if it bit you? No need, I feel wonderful. Oh, you're finally back. I was starting to get worried. Yor walked towards us all sweaty. He looked unusually happy as he wiped his hands on his pants. What took you so long? Is anyone hurt? We both looked at Arsonich, who was getting led away by Veronica and ran into the house. Just there was no chance he'd be able to persuade Nika that he was okay. I led him away so Nika and Arsha couldn't hear us. We got attacked by the creatures in the forest. Did you go to the thicket? Why? That's the thing. We didn't. We didn't even reach the ravine. It was still bright, but near the last trap, something jumped on Arsenovich. Was it big? Not really. I tried to show its size with my hands. Yours tilted its head backwards, let out a small moan, and shut its eyes. Maybe. No, never mind. If it's small, we shouldn't get worried. Those sometimes crawl into the outskirts of the forest looking for food. They get chased away by the bigger beasts, but they don't stay here for long. Yes, but it wasn't alone. There was a whole pack of them. We barely survived. Yor glanced at the forest. Are they far away now? I don't know. One of them got caught in a trap and the rest got scared. Fuck. Maybe Nika was right. If the creatures grow in numbers, we'll need to bugger off. Wait, maybe we can chase them away somehow by burning foxberry or something? We don't have enough berries. And it's not necessary. They'll leave eventually. They dislike the light. If only knew why they go out of the thicket in the first place. A stream of sweat formed on his forehead. It's not that important. First things first, we need to protect the cabin. Alright, so far we have 4 traps here, there, and there. He pointed at the different bushes behind the cabin. I didn't place any in the front, otherwise any of us could get caught in it. I started drafting the space for a wall there, but I don't think we'll go that far. Too much work. If we decided to build it, we wouldn't have time for the deer. Oh, and there's also a noose trap in those bushes. Watch your step. Yura stared at me with anticipation. Is waiting for praise him or something? Is that all? Yes. You told us you would do much more. Look, Misha, I get it. You're tired, nervous, and all that, but let's not ask for the impossible from me. It's enough for a day's work. What do you mean? We were away for 2 hours at the very least, and all you did was place 6 traps? Do you think it's so easy? Just throw a trap on the ground and that's it? It's an art form and it takes time. Don't even get me started on the noose traps. The one you're pain in the butt. The butt I've been working off here. I saw you place traps dozens of times. It only takes you a couple of minutes. That's because I come prepared, you idiot. I researched the area, looked for beast trails. Listen, you. Those were leftovers. We don't store them in the cellar. Did they fix the window? Maybe something got in the window? What do you mean, don't? He's been sitting here stuffing himself while we were at risking our lives in the forest. Misha. Her hands trembled from tension. Calm down, a lot happened today as it is. Whatever, forget the traps. He's wasting food while catching less and less game. Don't exaggerate, but it's only him doing that. We eat together however much we're supposed to. It's to help our visions last longer. We need to leave, then we won't catch the deer. And door opened with a squeak. It got dark. The forest quieted down, only rare rustling coming from its depths. I sighed. Nico was right. Everything had been going wrong lately. The creatures were out to get us. Euro was acting like a spoiled brat. How long will we be able to go on like this? Will we catch the deer before the forest takes us? Come on, go to bed already. Yeah, I'm coming. I gave the space front of our house one last look over. After making sure nobody was going to disturb our sleep, I stepped away from the window. Can't sleep. I nodded and sat on the edge of the bed, rummaging through the cabinet with a familiar motion. I've been drinking that water before sleeping more and more lately. The deer didn't come to me anymore, but it made falling asleep much easier. There you are. What's this? She studied the flask that glowed under the moonlight. I immediately felt unexplained guilt, as if there was something forbidden in my hands. It's just water from the stream. I sighed. Remember how I told you about seeing the deer in a dream? I drank this water that night before going to bed. I know it may sound crazy, but I think that stream is magical. Magical? Yeah, if you drink water from it, it calms you down. Nika frowned and sat closer. I handed her the flask, and she studied it with suspicion. How long ago did you find that stream? I didn't find it. Yura showed it to me, on the night of our wedding. He thought this water would help me catch the deer and bring the moment when we get to the beautiful tomorrow closer. Mika waved me off and took a huge sip, then shrugged and handed the flask back to me. Sounds like nonsense. Dreams can be weird sometimes, especially after experiencing the forest reality. Let's go to sleep. I also sipped from the flask, got closer to Nika under the blanket. My eyes were slowly getting draped in the usual veil. Veronica tossed and turned, trying to get comfortable. You asleep? No. Can you close the curtains? I shrugged, stood up, and walked to the window. Not a hint of forest creatures outside. I closed the curtains tight. Nothing changed. The room was still as dark as before. Misha, is the beautiful tomorrow also this bright? Probably. Otherwise, we won't be able to appreciate its beauty. It's so bright. Are you sure you shut the curtains? She got up slightly, scrutinizing her surroundings. You did. Is this the calmness you were talking about? Something like that. Try to fall asleep. I was about to close my eyes, but Nika tugged my shoulder. How can I sleep when everything is so bright? I'm telling you, try to sleep. But I'm agitated. It's not a real sensation, is it? If I wanted to go back. I sat up, pulled her close, and started rubbing her back. Here, it's gonna go back to normal soon. Only when I embraced her, Nika managed to relax and even hug me back. She buried her face in my shoulder as I hugged her tight. I don't want it to be like before either. The forest is so cold and uncomfortable. And now it's so unusually bright and warm, and you're so warm. She whipped into my shoulder and continued rubbing her back. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. The deer is close. I can feel it. We'll catch and get out of the forest soon. Hey, do I need to fall asleep with this to go away? Yes, but I'll be by your side anyway in case anything happens. Nika showed me a weak smile, and after getting comfortable under the blanket, beckoned me. I crawled close to my wife and hugged her. Good night, Misha. She gave me a soft kiss on the forehead and closed her eyes. Only in a dream. What if it comes again tonight and hints at where to look for it? The veil slowly lifted, leaving behind only light and the sound of flowing water. I looked around. That's the stream. Over there, the same trees surrounded me, rustling mysteriously. Over there, the same stones could be seen at the stream's bottom. Something still didn't feel right. I walked forward, then realized what it was. Crystal water carried the dredges of something dirt brown. Familiar rustling under the soles of my boots, and the sounds of running water were now accompanied by a new foreign sound. I raised my head and finally noticed a ferret, drinking water on the other side of the stream. It was the source of my uneasiness. I kept staring at it before it dawned on me. Its fur was black. Shoo, go away. The ferret just snorted and continued sipping the water, ignoring me. I could swear that for a moment it looked at me with derision. Go away. The ferret looked me straight in the eye and opened its mouth, bearing rows of pointy teeth that were too long for a normal beast. It dove into the water and immediately emerged on the other side. I took a step back. I couldn't let that creature bite me or I'll be done for. The ferret was getting closer, hissing. My legs refused to move. I could only stand like a stump and watch the small creature. Hair on the back of the beast's head stood on end. It hissed and I woke up. The creature's sharp teeth still stood before me, ready to pierce my throat. The water should help. I've never seen nightmares after drinking. Be careful out there. Don't go too far. They're gonna be okay. It's still bright outside. Still, better check the traps and return immediately. They know all that. They're all grown up already. Come on, make your move. I don't know how, but Arsenic was able to cajole him into playing back. Come on. That wimp has he beaten you even once? Not like, we won't count the times I lost on purpose, right? Yura shook his head. He bothered the whole village with his joyful screams that time. I'd never seen him that happy. That's when I realized you were a good man. I'm ready. Shall we go? Yeah. Return before it gets dark. Nothing here. I studied the trap for all sides, not a hint of game. Even the lure was left untouched. Well, it's okay. We're only just started. There are a lot of traps ahead. At least one of them should have something. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. A couple of sips before bed were not enough anymore. I was thirsting for it more and more often. You're just not used to it yet. I don't want to get used to it, and you shouldn't too. It's probably dangerous. Everything around us is dangerous, but the water helps. You should have seen that stream. It's so beautiful. It's just like the beautiful tomorrow. We'll check out the other traps on the way. Nika gave me a suspicious sideways look. I don't want to stay in the forest longer than necessary. Come on, it's still bright outside. We're safe. Besides, we're headed in that direction anyway. Fine, we'll be quick, okay? What happened to the beast that was in the trap when they went the last time? We'll have to waste more resources chasing game through the forest now. You could have tracked down the deer already. Never had bother with something as trivial as looking for food. Did you hear that? What? I led Nika through the bushes. After a couple of moments, we stood at the water's edge. Nika started looking around in amazement. I chuckled. She can be so childish sometimes, getting happy about trivial stuff like this. I wish I could see this side of her more often. Look. She was pointing her finger at something far away. I only saw a dense wall of spruces in the distance. Their tree tops formed a toothy horizon. You're right, this place is beautiful. She already squatted near the water and submerged her hands in it. Oh, wow, it's cold. I stifled a laugh. What do you expect? These streams are always cold. Veronica pouted theatrically, then shook her hands in my direction. My face burned from the coldness, and she started laughing. For the first time in a long while. This is a good place. In my pockets, looking for the flask. I needed to collect more water while we were here. from reality anyway. What do you mean? I know the answer before my question full enough. Forest drains people's energy, and things have been so hectic lately. We rarely fought before, but now we're always stressed. I hugged Anika. Right away, she put her head on my shoulder. It feels like things only got worse after that. The wedding's not even about you, it's just... I thought we'd had it easier, I don't know. Instead, we got all these scary beasts wandering under our windows, and everyone is fighting. Things were so nice for a couple of days, and then everything crashed. I hugged Nika tighter. You know, there's nothing we can do about it. We'll have to deal with it until we catch the deer. I've been thinking about that. We won't be able to catch it, or that deer doesn't exist at all, and there's no way out of this mess. It does exist, or all of this is for nothing. Do you really think all of this is for nothing? Veronica stepped back and looked at me with pleading eyes. You don't get it. The wedding didn't change a thing exactly because we're still chasing the deer and neglecting each other. We're still seeing each other less each day. You're getting more and more distant. Please, let's spend more time together. Her lips trembled, but I'm already doing all that I can. We can't be together for real in the forest. Dun dun dun. We spend too much time surviving here. She shook her head. I'm so tired of all of this. Me too. This will end as soon as we... I don't want to hear anything about your deer. The pines bounced up. Let's go. We spent too much time here already. She didn't even wait for me. Just turned around and started walking along the stream. I caught up to her and we continued walking together in complete silence. It seemed like even the sound of the running water grew weaker. I didn't want to look at my wife, so I stared at my feet instead. Look, there's a trail. It wasn't made by us. Yeah, I know. Shall we take a look? Maybe it will lead us to one of Yura's traps. Do whatever you want. We carefully made our way through a thick line of heavy, prickly spruce branches, and then we came out into a weirdly familiar clearing. Deja vu. I couldn't remember where I saw it. Flattened grass if somebody just passed through. I carefully moved it aside and gasped from joy. Damp ground was full of hoof prints. It wasn't a dream. Huh? Here, look. I led Veronica closer and showed her the prints. The deer was here. I saw it with my own eyes. Do you get it, Nika? The deer is close by. Soon it will be ours. Veronica kept shifting her stunned gaze between me and the prints. Are you sure it's the deer? Yes, I saw it, this clearing of the deer in my dream, and look, here are the prints. That's it. I was so happy I wanted to dance. All of our suffering wasn't for nothing. The deer is almost in our hands. Maybe it just left recently. We need to follow it. I was full of determination. The prints led somewhere to the east. I was about to start walking, but Nika grabbed my hand. Wait, what now? Think about it. When did you see the deer in your dream? Yesterday. What's wrong? It could have ran quite far in a day. You won't track it down alone. Let's go. We should tell the others. But, I sighed. What she said made sense. All right, but let's hurry up. The tracks are closed for the first time in a month and a half. We need to back to follow the tracks. Oh, look who's back. Took you a while. Where'd you go? To the stream. Where's our snitch? I'm here. I'm coming. He shouted from his room. To the stream, huh? How's water? Veronica shook her head indecisively. The place is pretty. I know why you like it so much now. You're a chuckled. Yeah, it's pretty. I often go there to watch the stream flow. Stop with your sarcasm. Misha told me about the water. Ah, is that so? He snuck a glance at me. Did you try it? I did. Last night. It's hard to describe. It felt weird. At least you're no longer here. No one is forcing you. Yura licked his lips. The forest is unbearable without them sweet dreams. Well, what's the commotion about? I saw tracks. Yura shuddered. Where? Near the stream, some way off alongside it. On our side. Really now? Finally? For the first time in a month and a half. Alright, get ready. We need to go there, look for the trail. Wait up, Misha. Were those tracks fresh? Not really. Maybe there's no need to rush then? It's not the first time we found some old tracks. Yeah, but it was a long time ago. Now the deer is so close. You'll still be able to tell for sure, but to me they look like a week old. Wait a minute, let me think. He bopped his forehead with his fist. Maybe we should spend the night there. In any case, we need more traps. Hold up, have you all forgotten about the bear? Arsonage rubbed his temples. The forest is swarming with creatures and you want to go there at sunset? Got tired of living? His words were like a slap to the face. I stepped forward. It's not our first day in the forest. We understand the risks. It's our chance, can't you see it? I can break free from this place. Stop worrying about surviving. Tomorrow. And I'm too young to die. Rage boiled up inside me. I could listen to Arsonage, but enduring Yura's remarks was impossible. I clenched my fists and suddenly felt Veronica grip my body. Stop it. Yura looked away and heaved a deep sigh. Alright, I'm going to my room. I need to prepare a lot of stuff for tomorrow. God grant me the strength to live through this. He looked tired and lost. Pop shifted his gaze between me and Veronica as looking for support. Tough times, constant fighting. It's just that we're all tired. Don't worry, we'll manage somehow. Yes, of course. It's not like we have a choice anyway. He started walking deeper into the cabin, grunting. We followed him without saying a word. Where'd you see the tracks? Near the stream. What stream? There's plenty of them in the forest. Deep in the forest to the west. The one with the magic water. What magic water? Haven't Misha told you? Nika looked at me. I thought you already knew. There's this stream near the thicket. Yura goes to hunt there. If you drink water from it. I stumbled on my words. I felt ashamed for some reason. Venturing deep in the forest, collecting water, and for what? To see some sweet dreams? To escape the forest for a couple of minutes? Well, you see things after that. I saw the deer. It stood by the stream. And now we found those tracks. Arsonage is all connected. Wait a minute, Misha. You have visions? Yeah. Water that gives you visions. He froze, deep into thoughts. What's wrong? Huh? I just thought that... Actually, never mind. But please, hear me out, okay? Sure. Meet me there. I'll take a look at that stream. Alright. Good. Let's leave that topic for tomorrow. How about we have dinner? Good idea. Do you need help? Don't worry, I'll be quick. Just wait for now. She ran to the kitchen and Arsonage and I sat down in the big room. After just a minute, we could already hear meat sizzling on a pan in the kitchen and a wonderful smell that engulfed the cabin. I started salivating. Why so fidgety? Hungry? You bet I am. Makes sense, especially after wandering through the forest for half a day. I used to eat 4 people's worth after something like that back in the day. Tonya always cooked a lot, and the neighbors complained that I'm robbing the village of food. They never said it to my face since I was, the main hunter there. But they always whispered what they thought I wouldn't notice. He gripped his coat and his gaze wandered. For more? Yura, come sit with us. Something stung me on the inside, but I stayed silent. What were you counting there? Our traps. I think as soon as we find the deer trail, we'll be able to move our traps from the other side, from the other part of the forest there. And some of them we need to place in front of the house. So many things to do. Right? Yura was trying to drill a hole in me with green eyes, and I stared back. Come on, something. Say something. I know you can barely hold it in. What? I was the first to lose patience. Nothing. I'll go talk to Veronica. What's wrong with you two? Where did all the fighting come from? I don't know. Everything's been going wrong recently. The forest is draining the last of our energy. We're always stressed out. And those creatures, they even got into my dreams, I can't even get rest at home. Nowhere feels safe. And what about Veronica? Veronica, I don't know. Things aren't exactly great between us two. We're fighting, just like you said. I feel like she's running out of steam and she doesn't want to dedicate herself to chasing the deer. Huh? He leaned into me. Remember what I told you during the wedding? Yes. Hold on to her. I know the times are tough, but you shouldn't give up. Everything here wants you to give up. But you always have Veronica. She won't let you drown in sorrow. We moved across the room, and only after that I realized I forgot about Yura. His table, his gaze glued to Veronica. Misha's so lucky to have you. Oh, so lucky. Come on, did you come here to make me feel embarrassed? Go take a seat. I'm almost done here. Don't dismiss me like that. Come on, let me at least keep you company for a while. Veronica curled her lips and clutched the cooking pan to keep her hands busy. Pitter-patter and tried to avoid looking at Yura. It's not like you should lack my attention. We've been cooped up inside together all this time. What do you mean? Misha has you and Arsnich has a long life he can reminisce about. And what about me? No wife, no kids. Only the goal of catching the deer. And there in the beautiful tomorrow. Who knows if I'll have a family. When did you become such a downer? Come on, liven up. Dinner will be ready soon. Just please avoid distracting me for now. I'm not despairing. Don't worry. I still have hope for this beautiful tomorrow and all. But at the moment, I have nothing. Man, if we had another girl like you with us, I wouldn't have to have waited 4 years. I'd marry you on the spot. What the hell? What's that have to do with my wife? He slowly shifted his gaze towards me and smirked. Problem? Am I not allowed to talk to Nika now? What if I have no one else to confide in? Huh? Want to confide in someone? Go to Arsnich. Or you can go outside and scream in the forest to blow off steam, but keep these conversations away from my wife. Or what? Gritted my teeth. I can hurt you. Ha, come on, let me see you try. Stop it. Are you two insane? Nika, I was just... You need to calm down. You're not the only person living here. Don't nitpick on others. And you. She turned to Yura. Don't get carried away. I get it. Life in the forest can get lonely, but I'm married. I'm willing to support all of you, but mind your distance. Okay, I'm sorry. He glanced at me without saying a word. Nika simply sighed and waved her hand. Let's eat. I'm almost done here. Don't force ourselves to say anything. Arsnich always woke up first and busied himself with chores since early morning, just like my grandparents. Today was no different. While everyone was asleep, he already had managed to make a simple breakfast and waited for us at the table. Good morning. You shouldn't exert yourself so early in the morning. You need to rest more. He just waved at me away. It's fine. I don't mind, and I have trouble sleeping anyway. The amulet doesn't work. Those herbs didn't help. He shook his head no. It should have worked. All the signs said so. Any shaman would have told you the same, unless all the legends that say the Getsumu first surrender something of equal value. I'm sorry, I didn't realize this was such a long game. Drinking it. Yura showed me the stream right after the wedding. It was the first time I tried it. I see. Muffled alarm clocks came from the room next door. A moment later, Nika stepped out from our bedroom, stretching and yawning. Good morning. Morning. Yeah, good morning. He stared at the space detected. But I enjoyed doing it. I'm tired of sitting inside doing nothing. Misha and I are going to the forest today because I said so. Arsnich, you can't change my mind. Sit here and get some rest today. Sprung up from his chair and minced to his room. Mince to his room? Get ready, Misha. We're leaving in 20 minutes. Look, our plate is almost full. He barely touched the porridge he himself made. Sorry, it seemed like the forest had become even darker. The fewer rays of light that managed to struggle their way through the thick wall of evergreens lighted our way. I had to stay close to Archnick to not lose sight of him in the semi-dark. I know you meant well, but look at me. I'm still fine. To prove his words, Archnick straightened his back and moved two big spruce branches that stood in his way to the side. I want to catch the deer with you all, just not claim the spoils. You already have it tough, and I can help. Don't take away that away from me. We continued onward deeper in the forest. The thicket grew darker, prickling us with evergreen needles and tying us down with cobwebs. Following the trail became increasingly more difficult. Maybe we shouldn't have left Yura home. It's okay, he's a smart fellow, he'll understand. Arsenic lowered his voice. There's something wrong with him lately. I don't like how enthusiastic he is about going into the forest. I don't want to accuse him without proof, but what if that stream is what I think it is? Then what? Then it's not a good sign. Let's move. The forest finally weakened its bristly grip. Trees stepped aside, letting us onto the trail. I heard the familiar sound of running water. We're almost there. The stream greeted us with a cool breeze. Did you notice the air getting heavier inside the forest? Yeah. I took a deep breath. And this place is so calm. Don't be tricked. He focused his gaze on the water's reflection in the thicket on the other side of the stream. Come here, quietly. What's there? Beasts. See these tracks? He is right. There is flattened grass and disturbed soil on the other side of the bank. As is someone, or rather something, dug through. Something big. Christian's fate told me I was up for bad news. What? I thought it was just a legend, but I see how it is now. He sighed and sat on the ground, rubbing his chin and staring intently at the opposite bank. When I was little, Grandma told me the local shamans enchanted the forest so that no black beast could bother people. They drew a border through one of the forest's rivers and called it Moyaz. The demons couldn't snatch people into the forest anymore, and they grew weaker and stayed on their turf. He sighed. Even though they couldn't cross it, they started drinking water from the tiny river and poisoned it with their dark, beastly nature. That's how Uzva came to be, the dream water. If a person drinks this water and embraces the beast's nature, he will turn into a beast himself. Tell me. He suddenly turned to face me. Yura showed me you this place, right? Yeah. Did he also drink from here? Yeah, we did that together. He shook his head in disappointment and stood up. Promise me you'll never touch that water again. I won't, I promise. The sound of running water no longer made me feel calm. The stream seemed dangerous now, poisonous. I shuddered. Both Arsh and I, as if reading each other's thoughts, turned around and walked back to the thicket away from the stream. Braces the beast nature. He would turn into a beast himself. Is that what Yura and I are constantly shouting at each other? Is this the water changing us? No. This is all just a legend. Pops can't know that for sure. We're all stressed out. That must be it. The water can't be driving us mad. But Nika also drank it. What if? Goosebumps crawled on my back. As if reading my thoughts, Arsenic turned around and flashed me a warm smile. Don't worry, everything will be fine. You're a strong man. Don't talk bad about him. He's going to be alright too. Leave him to me. Pleasant aroma of food wafted through the cabin. Nika was making her magic near the stove, as usual, singing something to herself. Ursinich and Yura were in the middle of placing pieces of backgammon on the board. Wow, how Pops managed to convince him so fast. Did they all get smart all of a sudden? Or maybe something scared them away? Come on, Pops, make your move. Hey, Yura. What? We went to the stream and saw the beast tracks there. Say, did you drink from it? Yura changed in the face. Her gaze started darting around the room, and his usual smirk was gone in a flash. What does that have to do with it? These demons can't cross the border just like that. Something or someone let them do it. So I'm trying to understand at what point things went wrong. And are you saying it's all my fault? I drank from that stream and then personally escorted that bear to our windows. I was stunned. Nobody dared to argue with the wise Arsenich. Yura shouted at the man and his friend. To boot, felt extremely wrong. He never went this far before. I didn't accuse you of anything. David's voice was still firm. Yeah, I couldn't tell. If you're looking for the reason all of this shit, go outside and look around. We're in the forest, don't you get it? Yes, its creatures never get this close to us. I told you about Uzva. What if it's inside that stream? And what do I have to do with it, Pops? What if I tell you that Misha carries a flask full of water all the time? Why are you schooling me and not him? He kept on tapping his knuckles nervously against the board. I gritted my teeth. What's wrong with him? I had the urge to hit him again, but Nika managed to come out of the kitchen in the nick of time. Arguing again, let's go have dinner. I already have the dishes served. Wait. He directed a scorching stare at Arsonage. Answer me. I've already spoken to Misha. He promised to never drink it again. You shouldn't do it either. Are you out of your mind, Pops? Why do you think I even drink it? Not a single muscle moved in Arsha's face. Something almost unnoticeably changed in his gaze. You said yesterday you go to the stream often. Then it's hard to living in the forest without some sweet dreams. Yura stumbled. So what? We've known each other for ages. You know me better than anyone else. Say, would I really drink Uzva? Would I? Yura. Answer. Nika shuddered from her scream. She snuck up to me and silently pressed herself into my shoulder. I also felt a bit scared. Arsonage only sighed in reply. I don't wish you any harm. Don't get mad. I'm completely calm. Sparks flew from his eyes. I just don't get why you're trying to blame your friend. I'm not blaming you. I'm giving you a warning. He sighed again, rolling a dice between his fingers. We've never fought like this. You're like a different person now. Where's the old kind Yura? Did Uzva change you so much? Yura took a couple of deep breaths, gathering his thoughts, started speaking in a deliberate, calm voice. I'm still me. His eyes were twitching. I don't doubt it, but please stop going to that stream. Oh, fuck you. He threw the backgammon set off the table. Black and white pieces jumbled all over the floor. Nika and I kept on hugging each other, petrified. Can't you hear what I'm telling you? Calm down. Shut up, all of you. He almost ran to the door and quickly pulled out his hunting boots. Where are you going? Somewhere far away from you. What's the point in sitting here if you don't even listen to me? The front door slammed shut behind his back. We looked at the door where Yura was just a moment ago in amazement. A pressing, anxious silence hung in the air, interrupted only by the ticking clock. Arsene sat in the corner, rubbing his forehead and mumbling to himself. He'd been at it for an hour already. Yura still hasn't come back. Maybe we should go look for him? For that asshole? No, if he wants to play the victim like a little girl, he can sit in the forest all he wants. He's not a kid. He'll come back. Misha. What? I'm so done with him. He screams at us, tried to hit on you. He picked a fight with Arsonage for no reason. I'm not going to look for him, try to console him. It's getting dark. The clock's ticking the loudest in the world. I couldn't tear my eyes off its hands. Every click brought the sunset a second closer. I'm telling you. Shush. Let's say you go into the forest and perish there. Do you think Veronica and I will be able to survive on our own? Will we be able to reach some village? I don't even want to hear about it. I gritted my teeth. I can't let you go alone. What if something happens? I won't be able to forgive myself. His eyes drove me from underneath his bushy, furrowed brow. What's going on in his head right now? How can he risk his life so easily and talk about it like he's going on a walk? But I couldn't refute him. I couldn't find the words. We can't let Yura die. I sighed in desperation. Okay, I promise. Good. It's just I know you. You're definitely a chase after me, even this late. He showed up a haphazard smile. After all, you can't get anything if you don't give it your all. Don't worry, I'll be quick. I'll bring Yura back in the blink of an eye. Misha? They're both okay. Of course, sweetie, of course. I gave her a soft hug. My thoughts were in disarray. I didn't know what to do. Doing chores? Would that be appropriate right now? My insides curled like a spring. I can't just sit and do nothing. Front mirrors kept me in place, though. The ticking clock turned into a torture device. An hour passed, we haven't even said a word to each other. What can we discuss in a situation like this? The deer? Us? The garden behind our cabin? It all felt wrong. It got completely dark outside. I could barely make out the trees. I can't take it anymore. I'll go after him. But you promised. I shouldn't have. That's nonsense. They're all alone in there in the dark, and I'm supposed to be sitting here in the cabin? I know, but we need to trust David Arshinovich. Think about how many times has he ventured in the forest alone. Back when he was young, Nika, but he's almost 60 now. Yes, and he spent all his life in the forest. He knows his way here. You don't sound convinced. She combed her hair with her fingers. Of course, I'm worried for him. I kept staring at the second hand on the clock. Circle after circle. Rotation after rotation. I felt like it was mocking me. The same circular motion over and over. Arsonich and Yura were still in the forest. We hadn't caught the deer yet. Over and over, over and over. That's it. I jumped up. Arsonich can say whatever he wants. I'm going after him. The door flung open and a tall figure wearing a camouflage coat barged into the cabin. Yura, white as a ghost, looked at his eyes, full of fear, struggling to breathe. What happened? Creatures, lots of them. I barely got away. Wait, how? Where's Arsonich? He found me. We were talking. He staggered and grabbed at the table as he kept himself from falling. Yura was shaking all over. The creatures appeared out of thin air. We were able to repel them at first, but then Arsonich's talisman appeared in his hands. The figurine was covered in deep brown spots. Pops gave me the amulet and told me to run while dashing into the opposite direction. The creatures got confused. They didn't know who to chase. I don't know. Maybe he managed to get away. I'm going to look for him. Wait, what? We can't just abandon him. Stop. Can you hear me? I tried to go past Yura, but he grabbed me by the shirt and pushed me back. Veronica ran up to me and gripped my arm, but I wasn't about to start a fight anyway. What's wrong with you? He's in there in the forest. We need to help him. You won't help him by fucking dying. But are you deaf? Do you think the creature disappeared just like that? They wandering in the forest waiting for their dinner. Do you think Pops would like it if you got eaten alive? I winced. We'll just start searching for her in the morning. Going now would equal suicide. We're going to die there. Yura shuddered, then looked at me with deep sad eyes, like an abandoned dog. He'll have to manage somehow. We can't help him right now. I looked at Veronica. She was on the verge of tears. I wanted to say something, but she was already turned around. I felt powerless all of a sudden. Like a small boy in a big, scary forest. Let's go, sweetie. That's the room. I fell into the chair, moaning. Something pierced my leg. I winced up and took the flask that scraped my skin with his cap out of my pocket. Use something nice right now. I was about to open it, but then froze. What am I doing? Am I supposed to sit here watching Sweet Dreams? Everything's fine. The Arsonich didn't go missing in the forest. A lump formed in my throat. I sprung the flask in the corner with all my might. Damn it. Damn it all. Hold on, Arsonich, please. Please don't die. We'll find you soon. I stared at the clock once again. Round and round, round and round. Sleep was slowly winning over me. I needed to stand up, go to Nika, but my legs refused to listen. Heavy branches clanged to my clothes, making it almost impossible to walk. I hear the sound of a ripping cloth, but I still press onward. I knew well the monsters lurked in the dark after here. There was no reason for me to go in the forest this late. I needed to go back, but my rage urged me to continue, and the rifle on my back filled me with confidence. I can stay here for a bit before it gets completely dark. Bushes moved. I stopped in my tracks. Something was lurking close by. Shit. How could I have missed it? You can't get distracted in the forest. I'm such an idiot. I had no idea who was hiding in the bushes or how many of them were there. I needed to leave now. Without making a sound, that way I'd have a chance to survive. Bushes rustled again. I grabbed the rifle, but I had no idea where to aim. My heart was trying to jump out of my chest. My mind was consumed in a panic. I couldn't think. Who's there? Stay away. A dark figure stepped out of the bushes. The shot left me dazed for a moment, then the darkness dissolved. In the front of me stood Arsonich. A red stain was rapidly spreading on his white shirt. No. He started to lean back and I rushed towards him. He was light, as if all the blood had already left his body. Hang on, I'll carry you. Just don't die yet. I heard a howl somewhere nearby. The forest creatures heard the shot and were already running here. Shit, okay, it's gonna hurt, but please bear with me. No need. He grabbed my shoulder with one hand, put something in my pocket with another. We won't make it together. Save yourself. The creatures roared even closer, their foul stench mixed in with the smell of blood. Run. His words were like an invisible push. They forced me to start running. The creatures clanged their teeth, joyful at the sight of easy prey. I could hear Pops forcing out a scream, trying to get their attention. The cacophony behind me grew louder and louder. The fear inside me grew stronger and stronger. I woke up, gasping for air. Arsonage. David Arsenovich. I coughed. My throat hurt after screaming so much. Are you sure there are no tracks? I am. If there ever were any, they'd be indiscernible by now. Too many beasts have passed here. Hero looked as if he was in a trance. He slowly went from one to another, picking up evergreen needles. It seemed like he wasn't even trying. Arsonage. It was clear we weren't going to see Pops again. The forest never lets its prey go. To my knowledge, the only person who could spend several nights in the thicket and come out alive was Yura. There's not enough physical strength. I've been through this many times. Painful it was. Arsonage. What now? What did the deer are so close? Why did you go to look for Yura? Arsonage, he returned safe and sound, and you didn't want to die in this hellish place. I tilted my head upwards, watched the pines wave in the wind, and felt like the forest was feeding on our despair, squeaking and clicking, laughing at us. It devoured everything that shined, the sun, our dreams, our lives, leaving us no respite. Even Nika couldn't endure it. She was getting worse with every passing second. Yeah, dear, I needed to find it, for our sake. Yes, we'll work hard for that beautiful tomorrow. You need to calm down first. Too unnatural. I didn't think about it. The magic water washed away all my suspicions. Inside the forest, evergreen paws didn't let light through, and tiny clearings were covered by thick fog. The space was clear. Among the grim trees, the stream was like a bright fire for trusting moths. Veronica sat down on the ground. I instinctively combed through the grass. It was soft and smooth. Why didn't I notice how unnatural this place was before? We need to talk. You hit me. I found it no pleasure in doing so. The stream was loud, louder than the whole world. If you think I took your side or something. No, I know that's not the case. You got out of hand. What you said was terrible. I didn't reply. Misha, huh. We need to do something. Things are falling apart. We already tried just recently. Have you forgotten? She curled her lips. Since we got married, things have only gotten worse. Marriage is not the answer. It won't work out here. We only have the future and the beautiful tomorrow. Nothing is working out because you're not even trying. That deer is the only thing that occupies your mind. Tears sparked in her eyes, and Nika turned around and slowly leaned in to her. I'm also hurt. But even in moments like this, I can't stop thinking about us, about you. I need to do everything to ensure your safety, to prevent this tragedy from repeating. She shuddered. Were your parents happy? What's with this question? Just tell me. I want to know. Well, I think so, yeah. Dad loved Mom a lot. He used to bring her flowers all the time, and the smile she wore when he returned home from the forest, it was so warm. Although Mom also cried a lot, she was afraid that someday Dad wouldn't return. And when that eventually happened, she stopped smiling altogether. As if her heart was empty, she moved around the house like a ghost. I gulped down the lump that formed in my throat. I tried to forget that part of my life. It was when I decided to catch the deer. I didn't want a life like that, and I didn't want it for my kids either. But they were happy, if only for a short time, but they were. What do you mean? We need to stop. We don't need to catch the deer. Didn't you hear what I just told you? I did, and I understand you perfectly, but this is just wrong. We'll all die chasing the future. The forest has already shown you that. So what, should we just give up? I'd rather burn our cabin down with myself inside than let the forest win. Veronica Stone gave me a puzzled look, then turned around and walked towards the stream. Where are you going? She went into the water. The cold stream that touched her body made her shudder. She took a step, 2 steps, and suddenly stumbled and fell into the stream. Nika, are you all right? She stood up, wiping her face, and turned to me. I froze in place after seeing her expression. It was full of pain and despair. I felt horrible just looking at her. Please stay with me. Sweetie, I'm not going anywhere. No, you're already so distant. You're running after that damn deer. She grabbed the heavy hem of her dress and lifted it up. I saw her pale skin covered in goosebumps. My heart started thumping, my head buzzing. We felt so good together. Remember how we could sit inside for days enjoying each other's company? The others had to literally drag you out in the forest. Don't you want to go back to those times? Her voice sounded so desperate. Nika trembled, either from being cold or from crying. Of course I do. I stepped forward and stopped near the water's edge. We can go back. We will return to the village and things will be just like back then. We don't need to wait for the beautiful tomorrow to be happy. Yeah, the forest is dark and dangerous, but at least there's something here we won't even know if the deer exists. Into the stream, my boots got immediately flooded and my hot body scalded by the cold water. Why does it keep changing from Vika to Nika? Let's stop. You wanted a family, right? We have it. Child, do you want me to make one right here? Do you want to make one right here, right now? We can live a good life together. Just please, please. Let's stop chasing the deer. Dun dun dun. Okay, chat. A colossal tree before me, hidden amongst the dark emerald branches, were countless ribbons that weren't as colorful as they were a week or 2 ago. And I swore our eternal love under this tree. Now we're burying our friend here. Why is the forest so unfair and cruel? Here, Yura. Where did you think people go after death? Okay, so they did find him dead. Okay. Where? No, I couldn't. I still couldn't believe Arsenic was dead. Come. I just wanted to delay this moment to stay away. My legs refused to follow my commands. Arsenic. My throat stung. I bit my lower lip until it hurt, trying to hold back tears. You are a good man. Veronica put the board in the center of the cavity with trembling hands. She was careful as she was afraid it could fall apart. My heart sank in an abyss. Arsonich is no longer with us. David, it's all my fault. If not for me, you wouldn't have gone in that damn forest and you'd still be alive right now. I'm sorry. Yor was biting his lips, anxious and oblivious to his surroundings. I didn't tell you that often, but you were like a real dad to me. What would have become to me if you weren't around? You were a good man, Arsonich. Too bad you didn't live to see the beautiful tomorrow. His eyes sparkled and his voice started to tremble. You deserve more than this forest. Up here, you're in a better place right now. Rest in peace, old-timer. Yor broke down and looked away, tears streaming down his face. He threw himself to the side, looking for support, right into Veronica's embrace. I heard Yora's muffled sniffles from her shoulder. That returned me reality for a moment. The reality where Yora was acting like an asshole. Why is he clinging to my wife like this? Why is he doing this right now when we're performing last rites for our friend? Our such words about water, angry for no reason, flashed in my mind. I heaved a deep sigh. Whatever. After all, Yoro is also human. A person stricken with grief. I outstretched my hand to carefully touch the board's smooth surface. Couldn't make it until the day we catch the deer. You could have earned your place in the beautiful tomorrow more than any of us. My lips trembled. I couldn't talk anymore. David Arsonich. She didn't try to hold back her tears. Her voice trembled and stuttered. You've done so much for us. We're so lucky to have you. Please rest in peace. We just stared at the back of my board in silence. Silence would only be broken by someone sniffling from time to time. How long had we spent like that? A minute? 10 minutes? An hour? Everyone knew what we needed to do next, but nobody had the courage to stand up and finish the deed. Took the shovel in his hand several times, but always threw it away the next moment. Misha, I can't. Will you do it? As if I could bury the last memento we had of Arsonich. Every cell in my body refused to listen to me when I tried to grab the shovel's hand. Time flowed unbearably slow. I just couldn't force myself to do it. Let's do it together. Yura nodded and we started throwing soil into the grave, a handful at a time. It's the only thing I could think about. Nika shut her eyes and turned away to avoid watching Arsonich's last rites. Idjikits. I walled up to the mighty spruce and put my hand on his trunk. Take care of him. He was a good man. Without saying a single word more, we went away, leaving the rustling Idjikits behind with the dolled out ribbons tied to its evergreen branches. As if we had never lived here and yesterday was our first day here. A lonely bottle glistened on the table. What's this? I brought it out. Yura wiped his face with the sleeve on his coat. Pops hid it in the cellar behind the shovel. There was a note tied to it. Open it in the beautiful tomorrow. That's why I decided to. He sniffed and turned away. It's okay. Veronica opened the cabinet. Something small clanged and 3 shot glasses appeared on the table. They were also brought here by Arsonich back in the day. I laughed back then, thinking we would never find the time to drink here, and now this happened. How do we do it? Without a toast? Liquid burned in my throat. Arsonich probably wanted to take this bottle out as soon as we got to the beautiful tomorrow. He would have accompanied it with some beautiful toast. He would have said plenty of good things about all of us. Tears stung in my eyes. How did it come to this? Maybe we should say something? There's nothing to be said anymore. He had directed his sad gaze to the table's uneven surface. We could talk about Arsonich for hours. He did that much good throughout his life. He struggled against the force to the very end. He almost made it. He almost saw the beautiful tomorrow. Yura suddenly turned to me. We won't give up, will we? Even after this, we'll still keep going, right? That way Arsonich, he gulped, wouldn't have died in vain. After we had returned from the forest, she barely talked to me. Of course, the deer will be ours. Yura nodded and emptied another glass. Misha, look, He glanced at the talisman was placed on the shelf. No, we haven't been on the best terms lately, but after all that happened, let's not go there, Yura. I know that sometimes my emotions get the better of me. I went too far with Veronica that time. She's your wife after all. I shouldn't have bothered her. He heaved a deep sigh. The forest is eroding all the good in us. I'm so tired, so tired. We haven't even seen the real sun out here. Sure that it exists. And all of this is so oppressing. Another glass got emptied. Now where Arsonich is gone, our quarrels, they mean I'm sorry for everything. It's okay, Yura, it's okay. The bottle didn't last long. The only thing breaking the cabin's silence was the ticking clock, Arshnich's clock. The sound was getting on my nerves. Every click reminded me about my failure. There was nothing I could do to fix things. There's no way to bring Arshnich back. We'll be going. Right, Misha. I couldn't sit still anymore. I felt worse with every passing moment. The stream and the alcohol made me sleepy. It was getting heavier and heavier. I could barely manage to get into my bed before sinking into darkness. Okay, we're going to end this episode here. I don't know if I will continue and make the ending of this game part of this video, or if I'll make another video. I'll decide that later. If case I do make this the same video, I'll see y'all in a second. If not, I will see you later.